These are 3 random birth certificates found on Google Images. Let's take a closer look. American Banknote Company was a major worldwide engraver of national currency and postage stamps. Currently it engraves and prints stock and bond certificates. Take a look at your original birth certificate, and it will look very similar. When the United States declared bankruptcy, pledged all Americans as collateral against the national debt, and confiscated all gold, eliminating the means by which you could pay, it also assumed legal responsibility for providing a new way for you to pay, and it did that by providing what is known as the exemption. In 1933, the United States went into Chapter 11 restructuring, hence bankruptcy. Chapter 11 is a form of bankruptcy designed for corporations, not governments. When this bankruptcy took place, our constitutional republic was dissolved and replaced with a corporate democracy, social corporate fascism. Our elected representatives became the trustees, and the international banksters became the receivers. So what does this have to do with our birth certificates? The birth certificate created a fiction, the name of the baby in uppercase letters. The state/province sells the birth certificate to the Commerce Department of the Corporations of USA, which in turn places a bond on the birth certificate, thereby making it a negotiable instrument, and placing the fiction, called a strawman, into the warehouse of the Corporations of USA. Do not underestimate the power behind this trick. It is to con us into contracting with the feds so that they can legally confiscate our property. Since USA has been bankrupt for decades, having no substance such as gold and silver to back it, the only asset it has are men and women and our labor. We are the collateral for the interest on the loan of the World Bank. Each of us is registered, via the application for a birth certificate. The Treasury issues a bond on the birth certificate, and the bond is sold at a securities exchange and bought by the Federal Reserve Bank, which then uses it as collateral to issue banknotes. The United States government, in order to provide necessary goods and services, created a commercial bond, by pledging the property, labor, life and body of its citizens, as payment for the debt. We became nothing more than human resources and collateral for the debt. This was without our knowledge and/or consent, via the filing of our birth certificates. It says that Admiralty jurisdiction is applicable in the following locations: the high seas, any American ship, any lands reserved or acquired for the use of the United States, and under the exclusive or concurrent jurisdiction thereof, or any place purchased or otherwise acquired by the United States by consent of the legislature of the state. In other words, mainland America. What about the gold-fringed flag used by the military, hung at all courts, schools, and government buildings? It all has to do with the British Maritime Admiralty law of flags. The gold fringe is a legal symbol indicating that the court is sitting under British maritime law and the Uniform Commercial Code, military and merchant law, not common or constitutional law. Under the Admiralty law of flags, the flag displayed gives notice of the law under which the ship, in this case the court, is regulated. Anyone entering that ship, court, accepts by doing so that they are submitting to the law indicated by that flag. Judges refuse to replace the flag with one without a fringe when asked by defendants who know the score, because that changes the law under which the court is sitting. If you appear in a court with a gold-fringed flag, your constitutional rights are suspended and you are being tried under British maritime military/merchant law. International Maritime Admiralty law, the law of the high seas, began in Samaria, was perfected in Rome, and continues to this day. Notice how regardless of whether you send a product by air, water, or land, you ship it. The ship pulls into its berth and ties the dock. The captain has to provide the port authorities with a certificate of manifest declaring the products he has brought. Through a legal loophole the royals have created, U.S. citizens are considered property of the Queen under British maritime law. Since we are born of our mother's water, from her birth canal, we are thereby a maritime product, a shipped commodity. Our mothers were delivering a product under maritime law, and that's why we are born in a delivery room. That's why the dock signs your birth certificate, your certificate of manifest. The United States Corporation came about just after the Civil War. The Act of 1871 was passed by Congress, creating a separate form of government for DC, essentially turning it into a corporation. It was decided that employees would be called citizens. So when you say in court or on paper that you are a citizen of the United States, you are not a free American, but an employee of U.S. Incorporated. When you get a fine, a ticket, a bill, or get sued, you must sign in all capital letters. When you die, your Masonic tombstone by law will have all capital letters to show their employee has died. What does this all mean? We are all corporate slaves, unknowingly brought into this world as slaves to benefit our rulers. Born into debt, without any say. Tricked into thinking we need to work our entire lives. Soon the masses will learn the truth and this corruption will end.